저마다 사람들은 단장을 하고 삽니다.
Everyone in this world, they either do an embellishment or they remodel or they do a makeover.
단장을 하는 것은 자기를 위해서이기도 하지만 남에게 자기 자신을 보이기 위해서입니다.
We adorn ourselves and we do touch-ups and makeovers for not only for the satisfaction of ourselves but for many others.
좋은 모습을 보여주기 위해서 하는 단장. 사람이나 건물에 손을 대어서 꾸미는 것이 바로 단장입니다.
Whether we remodel a building or a house, the interior, or if it's a person doing a makeover, all those things, the purpose in doing that is to make it more appealing, to make it more beautiful than it actually was, and make it attractive.
보기 좋게 아름답게 꾸미는 단장. 그 단장함을 우리가 항상 눈으로 보고 들여다볼 수 있는 것은 아닙니다.
The things that we adorn and things that we make decorative, all those things can also be actually seen, the materialistic things that we can see in our eyes, but there are others that we cannot actually see. They're spiritual.
왜냐하면 단장은 우리 눈으로 볼 수 있는 단장도 있지만 눈으로 볼 수 없는 숨어 있는 단장도 있기 때문입니다.
So there are two types of adornments: things that we can actually see with our eyes, materialistic things, and things that we cannot actually see, visualize.
눈으로 볼 수 있는 외적인 단장과 눈으로 볼 수 없는 내적인 단장, 이 두 가지가 성경에 기록되어 있습니다.
So in the Bible, there are two kinds of things we adorn ourselves with: the things that are seen and things that are not able to be seen.
단장을 하고 사는 것이 꼭 사람들만의 것은 아닙니다.
But we don't just adore man.
하나님께서도 단장을 하셨고 단장을 하시고 있고 천사도 단장을 했었더라. 성경의 말씀은 우리 가운데 증거하고 있습니다.
Not only do people embellish things and decorate things, but also God and angels as well.
단장을 하는 것이 꼭 우리에게 유익한 것인가? 그렇지만은 않다라고 성경의 말씀은 우리에게 기록하고 있습니다.
But it's not always a good thing for us to adorn ourselves with.
보이는 단장, 그 단장을 이 시간 들여다 보시겠습니다.
First, we'll find out the things, adornments that we can actually physically see with our eyes, how we can actually dress and make ourselves beautiful.
하나님 외에 다른 신을 두지 마라. 우상을 절대로 숭배하지 마라. 하나님께서는 선민 이스라엘에게 말씀하셨지만 언약 백성 이스라엘은 하나님께 보기 좋게 불순종하였습니다.
Now, God is the one who commanded his people, the Israelites, to never place any idols before him and never serve or worship them. And we know that these people were the people of the covenant.
모세가 선민 이스라엘을 대표해서 시내산에서 하나님과 언약 체결을 맺기 위하여 대면하고 있을 때, 그때 그 산 아래에서는 모세를 기다리고 있었던 백성들은 우상 숭배 죄악에 빠져 있었습니다.
Now we know Moses was a leader of the Israelites at the time, and then he went up to Mount Zion to take in the order of the commandments and to make that covenant in the oath with God. And they were under the mountain. There were people, the Israelites, were waiting for Moses at that time.
그들이 몸에 차고 있던 귀 금고리를 빼서 제사장 아론에게 주었고 아론은 그것을 불에 던져 금 송아지 우상을 만들어 백성들로 하여금 숭배하게 했습니다.
Now, the Israelites were waiting for Moses to come down from the mountain. While they were waiting, they couldn't stand him anymore. So the Israelites, they took off their gold earrings and the jewelry that they had, and they gave it to Aaron, who was the priest. And they made Aaron throw all the jewelry that they had, the gold earrings, into the fire and melt it. And Aaron, he made an idol cast in the shape of a calf. And the Israelites, they all worshipped that idol.
그 일로 인하여 하나님께서는 크게 진노하셨고 죄종 모세를 통하여 하나님은 그대로 그 죄에 보응하셨습니다.
Now, after God heard about this and he saw this, God, he became so furious, and through Moses, the leader of the Israelites, God had punished the Israelites.
여호와 편에 있는 자는 다 내게로 나오라. 너희들은 허리에 칼을 차고 지금부터 우상 숭배 죄악에 빠진 네 형제, 친구, 이웃을 하나도 살려둘지 말고 도륙하라 명하였고 그 우상 숭배 죄악으로 인해서 3,000명이 죽음을 면치 못했더라. 성경이 우리 가운데 하나님의 말씀으로 기록하고 있습니다.
Now God, he calls out all the people that were in his side, the ones who did not do any of the idol worshiping, and he tells them, the people, to take out your swords and put to death all the idol worshippers that worship that idol, and put them to death, even if it's your brother or your friend or neighbor, but put them all to death. And that day, about 3,000 men were killed.
자기 형제를 죽였고 친구를 죽였고 이웃을 도륙하는데 사용받았던 레위 지파 사람들, 하나님 편에 있었던 사람들, 그들에게 모세는 너희는 하나님께 크게 헌신하였다. 너희가 참으로 복을 받을 것이다. 라고 칭찬과 상을 베풀었습니다.
The Levites were the ones who were always by God's side, and they were the ones who had to be responsible of killing all the idol worshippers, and whether it was a brother or a friend or a neighbor, but they did the order that God had ordered through Moses. And after they have done that, Moses, he complimented the Levites, and he rewarded them with all kinds of things and blessed them.
모세는 하나님의 진노를 멈추어 달라고, 하나님의 심판을 멈춰달라고 중보기도를 했고 그 주의 종 모세의 중보기도를 들으시고 하나님은 이스라엘 백성들을 죄 사해 주셨습니다.
Now, Moses, he continuously prayed to God, asking him to stop all the punishment. And so God, he answered the prayer of Moses, and he finally stopped the punishment, and he decided to forgive their sins.
너희 조상 아브람과 이삭과 야곱에게 맹세한 땅을 너희에게 줄 터인데 너희들을 그리로 인도할 것인데 다시는 하나님 앞에 범죄하지 마라. 범죄하는 즉시 너희들을 나의 생명록 책에서 지워버리겠다는 경고의 말씀을 주셨습니다.
Now, God, he tells his people that the land that I promised to your ancestors of like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the land that I gave to and promised them, I will now lead you to that land. And the moment you sin against me once again, then you will be perished, you will be punished, and your name will be removed from the book of life. And he gave that warning, and he tells them to never sin against him ever again.
또한 너희들은 나의 심판을 자초한 너희들을 우상 숭배 죄악에 빠뜨리게 한 금송아지 우상을 만드는 재료로 사용한 단장품, 그것을 당장 너희 가운데 없애버리라는 명령의 말씀도 주셨습니다.
God also ordered the Israelites, the idol worshippers, who gave in their jewelry, the gold earrings, into making the idol cast. He said to get rid of it.
그렇습니다. 보기에 아름답게 자기 몸을 치장하기 위해서 차고 있었던 귀 금고리가 그만 하나님 앞에 큰 범죄를 저지르게 하는 우상숭배 죄악에 빠지게 하는데 사용되었다는 것입니다.
Now to make ourselves look beautiful, those people they put on gold earrings, and through the gold earrings the calf was made, and that's how the gold earrings led them to that huge punishment and made God more furious and make him angry, and through that that really was used for making the wrong idol.
다윗의 아들 압살롬에게는 아름다운 누이, 처녀 다말이 있었습니다.
Now there was a David's son, king. His name was Absalom, and he had a sister, a beautiful sister, who was a virgin named Tamar.
다윗의 또 다른 아들 암논이 다말을 연애하고 사랑하였습니다.
But the other son of David, who was Amnon, he fell in love with his brother's sister Tamar.
그러나 자기가 연애하는 다말을 취할 수 없어 상사병에 빠지기에 이르렀습니다.
So because it was impossible for him to date her, to fall in love and do anything with her, he became so ill because he was so obsessed with Tamar.
암논의 친구 요나답, 그 요나답이 그 상사병을 고칠 수 있는, 상사병에서 빠져나올 수 있는 좋은 계략 한 가지를 암논에게 말해 주었습니다.
Now Amnon, he had a friend, a clever friend named Jonadab, and Jonadab, he found out that he was ill and very sick because he was obsessed with and fell in love with Tamar, and he couldn't do anything. Now his friend Jonadab, he told him a plan, a great plan.
요나답의 계략대로 암논은 다윗 왕께 간청을 했습니다.
Now, David, we know that Amnon, he went to his David king, just as that he had planned. He had told David,
내가 병들었는데 내게 누이 다말이 와서 과자 2개를 만들어 그 손으로 내게 먹여주면 내가 낫겠나이다. 자기 아비 다윗에게 청하였습니다.
just as Jonadab had told Amnon what to do. Now Amnon, when his father came to see him, he told his father that I want Tamar, my sister, to come to me and make some bread for me so I can eat it from her hands. And that's what he asks his father to do.
자기 아들이 누워 병들었는데 그 청을 들어주지 아니할 아비는 없습니다.
There's not one father who would not deny and not listen to his request, his sick son's request.
암논의 청대로 누이 다말은 암논에게 와서 친히 자기 손으로 과자 2개를 만들었고 그것을 침실에 누워있던 암논에게 주어 먹게 했습니다.
Just as Amnon wanted, now King David, his father, he sends Tamar, his daughter, to Amnon, and Tamar, he goes to his brother, and she bakes some bread for him, and she actually feeds him.
청한 그대로 했지만 암논의 숨은 생각은 따로 있었습니다.
Now, just as he wanted, it actually did happen. But there was another motive behind it.
하인들을 물리게 한 후 다말을 압제하여 결국은 동침을 하고 맙니다.
Now, he sends away all the men that were in his room, and they were both left alone. And then with all his strength, he finally rapes her.
거기까지도 저질러서는 안 되는 범죄인데 암논은 정말로 진실로 자기 누이 다말을 사랑한 것이 아니었기 때문에 동침을 하기 이전에 가지고 있었던 그 사랑하는 마음보다 훨씬 더한 미움, 증오를 동침한 이후에 암논은 갖게 되었습니다.
So after he rapes his sister Tamar, now the love that he had for her was all gone, and the hate that he had after he raped her, he now hated her for some reasons, and the hatred was more intense than the love that he had for her.
자기 하인을 불러서 그렇게도 연애하고 사랑하던 누이 다말을 내어 쫓고 다시는 들어오지 못하도록 문빗장을 지르도록 했습니다.
Now he calls his servant and tells the servant to send her away and bring her out of my room, and then locks the door.
다말은 너무나 황당했습니다.
Now Tamar, she was in shock because she didn't understand.
내게 그리하지 마옵소서. 그것은 가하지 아니하이다. 지금 이러시는 것은 내게 전에 행하던 악보다도 더 훨씬 더 큰 악을 지금 하고 있는 것입니다. 그렇게 암논에게 간청을 했지만 오라비 암논은 들어주지 않고 하인을 불러서 아주 냉정하게 다말을 내어 쫓고 문빗장을 질렀습니다.
Now Tamar, she said no, and she refused to leave his room, and she says that whatever you have done is more worse than that you have done to me. Sending me away is a great worse than what you have actually done to me before. And that she refuses to leave, but her brother calls his servant and takes her out of his room.
범죄하여 이성을 잃어버린 오라비 암논을 다말은 당해낼 재간이 없었습니다.
And here's the mistake that he made. There's nothing that Tamar could have done.
머리에 죄를 무릅쓰고 공주가 입는 아름다운 채색 옷을 찢어버리며 머리에 손을 얹고 크게 울며 나갔습니다.
Now, Tamar, she put ashes on her head and the ornamented robe full of diverse colors. Only the daughters of the king could actually wear. She wore that, but then she tore it apart, and then she put her hands on her head, and then she wept out aloud as she went.
아름다운 공주가 입는 채색 옷으로 단장했던 다말. 그 다말은 자기 스스로 그 단장함을 찢어버리고 불의한 오라비에게 당한 그 자기의 아픔, 고통, 상처를 그렇게 표현했던 겁니다.
Now, only princesses can wear that an ornamented garment. But Tamar, since she was a daughter of the king, she wore it. But when she ripped it, when she tore it apart after the thing that she had faced, it expressed her grief and her sorrow and her pain.
귀 금고리로 송아지를 만들어서 우상숭배 죄악에 빠졌던 선민 이스라엘, 그 아름답게 단장했던 귀 금고리는 하나님의 선민들을 범죄에 빠뜨리겠습니다.
Now, the first story was about the Israelites and the gold earring. And the gold earring was worn to make themselves attractive, but that gold earring was used in a different way. And it was used to make an idol, which was led them to punishment and led them to sin.
왕의 딸의 아름다움과 위엄을 뽐내려 했던 그 아름다운 채색 옷으로 단장했던 그 옷은 슬픔과 비극으로 찢겨져 나갔습니다.
The second story was about the daughter of King David's daughter Tamar and the beautiful garment that she wore. Only princesses could wear, and that garment and that robe was to enhance her beauty, to make her look very beautiful. But that beautiful garment was ripped apart because of the grief and because of the shame that she faced.
하나님의 선지자 에레미야는 슬픈 노래 애가를 지어 두루 왕에게 전합니다.
Now, Jeremiah the prophet, he makes a song dedicated just for the king of Tyre.
네가 지음받던 날부터 너는 완전한 인이었고 너는 각종 아름다운 보석으로 단장이 되어 참으로 지혜가 충족했고 너는 지음받던 날부터 너의 권위와 위엄은 그야말로 그 누구도 흉내낼 수 없는 그러한 위용 있는 자태였다라고 두로 왕에게 말합니다.
Now, Jeremiah the prophet, he tells King Tyre, saying that from the day of your birth, you were perfect, you were good looking, you were pleasant, and you had everything that a rich man can have, all the wealth and authority and the power that a rich man can possess, but you all had it, and you were born with it, and you were full of all kinds of wisdom, and you dress yourselves in precious gems and stones, and that's what the song was in.
그렇게 지음 받던 날부터 위엄과 영광, 아름다움이 완전히 자리 잡았던 네가 물질의 풍요로 말미암아 너는 하나님께 범죄하였고 너의 아름다움이 오히려 너를 교만에 빠뜨리게 했고 너의 영화로움이 네가 소유하고 있던 지혜를 더럽혔다라고 슬픈 노래를 이어갑니다.
Now, in the lyrics of the song that Jeremiah he made for King Tyre, it said in the beginning, when you start from your birth, you were born with all intelligence and wisdom, and you were dressed finely. But then your good looks, your beauty had corrupted you and made you more arrogant, and also the riches that you have and all the possessions that you owe, it corrupted your wisdom, and now you became an evil and sinful man.
두루 왕은 이 땅에 존재하는 세상 군왕을 빗대한 말이 아닙니다.
Now, King Tyre is not actually a real king.
왜냐하면 그 두루 왕이 쫓겨난 곳이 어디였냐면 하나님의 거룩한 성산이었습니다.
Okay, because it said in the lyrics when it went on and on in the lyrics you could see that King Tyre he was kicked out of the mountain that God dwelt in. So that really represents King Tyre.
하나님을 수종드는 천사, 그 천사 중에 가장 하나님께서 권위도 주시고 위엄도 주시고 아름다움도 주신 그 루시엘 천사가 그만 그를 두르고 있던 그를 단장하고 있던 그 지혜와 아름다움 그 모든 것이 그에게 올무가 되어 교만에 빠져 하나님 앞에 범죄하기에 이르렀다는 것입니다.
Just like the angel Lucille, who first worshipped and served God in the beginning, but then the angel became corrupted because of the wealth and the riches and also the beauty that she had. And she wore herself, and she adorned herself, and she dressed herself with all kinds of that rich and beauty and intelligence that was given from God. And then she became so corrupted because of that.
각종 보석으로 단장하고 있었던 그 아름다운 루시엘 천사, 그 아름다움이, 그 단장함이 오히려 루시엘 천사에게는 복이 아니고 화가 되어서 하나님의 거룩한 성산에 쫓겨나서 열왕들 앞에 던져져 구경거리가 되게 하셨다는 겁니다.
Now, Lucille, who wore all kinds of stones and gems to enhance the beauty, because she was very beautiful, that beauty, it corrupted her and made her arrogant and wanted to make her become like God. And she was a fallen angel, as we know. And that King Tyre, he represents that angel, that corrupted angel. And then it says later on in the lyrics that the King Tyre, he will be thrown into the ground, and all the people that will scorn at him and will mock him and watch him. And that is how the song ends.
또한 그를 아는 모든 사람들에게 경계거리가 되게 했고, 다시는 마귀와 같은 자가 존재하지 못하게 하셨다는 겁니다.
And through just like that, when King Tyre was thrown into the ground, people looked at him and shocked, and through him, the people will be able to acknowledge that they are not supposed to do that, and that is how God will never make another devil again.
외적인 눈에 보이는 사람의 단장함도 실패와 비극으로 끝났고, 천사 또한 그의 몸을 두르고 있었던 단장했던 그 보석들이 오히려 그 자신에게 크나큰 실패와 죄악에 빠뜨리는 올무가 되겠다는 것입니다.
It's like the angel who adorned herself with all kinds of stones and gems to make her beautiful. Of those things that it made her sin against God, and it made her led her into punishment, and that is how it was used.
외모를 치장하고 단장하는 것, 성경은 증거하기를 그것은 하나님의 사람들에게는 어울리지 않는 것이고, 그것에 신경 쓰고 관심 갖다 보면 결국은 하나님과 멀어지게 되고 그 자신의 영혼에 큰 불이익과 참상을 안겨준다는 교훈을 우리에게 주고 있습니다.
In the Bible, to make yourself beautiful, the outward appearance, and to make yourself more beautiful by adorning yourself with all kinds of stones, gems, and jewelry, and to make yourself look decent, and that is not how a believer of God should act and behave.
그래서 하나님의 사람들에게 주께서 권하시는 단장은 보이지 않는 단장, 내적인 단장을 우리에게 요구하고 계시는 겁니다.
You know, it says in the scriptures that beauty does not come from the outward adornment, but it comes from within your heart, and your heart must be beautiful more than your outward appearance.
주 앞에 있는 남편 있는 아내들은 행위로 구원을 얻기 위하여 두려운 마음으로 신앙의 정절을 지켜야 하는데, 그 신앙의 정절, 그것이 그 아내의 단장함으로 표현이 되고 있습니다.
Once again, beauty comes from your heart. That is true beauty, and that is unfading, and it will last forever. And especially women who have husbands, they must submit to their husband, and they must act according properly, and they must dress decently and with modest. And if you are a believer of God,
하나님을 경외하는 아내라면, 주께 소망을 품은 아내라면 반드시 내적 아름다움, 염치와 정절로 단장을 하고 선행으로 단정을 하라고 성경의 말씀은 우리 가운데 기록하고 있습니다.
And the scriptures, especially wives who are worshippers of God and put their hopes in God. Now we should not dress ourselves in the outer appearance to make ourselves enhance our beauty, the outer appearance, but it should come from our heart. And we must be dressed with modesty and wear a proper clothing in order for us to be a true, sincere believer of God.
또한 주 안의 남편에게 절대적으로 순복함으로 단장을 하라고 말씀합니다.
And it says that wives now should dress themselves and adorn themselves with obedience and be submissive.
거룩한 하나님의 종 예수께서 메시아 사명을 감당함으로 인하여 우리 믿는 자들에게 구원과 의의 옷을 입혀 주셨습니다.
And Jesus, who is our Messiah and who will come, he clothes us with salvation, and he made us wear a robe, dress us in a robe of righteousness.
구원과 의의 옷을 그 의의 옷으로 단장한 그 모습이 마치 신랑이 사모를 쓰며 신부가 신랑 앞에 정절을 갖고 정절로 단장하고 결혼하는 모습, 그 모습과 똑같다고 말합니다.
When we're clothed with garments of salvation and robes of righteousness, it's as if a bride dresses beautifully and waits for her husband.
주의 재림의 때 옛 땅과 옛 하늘이 없어지고 새 하늘과 새 땅이 우리 앞에 펼쳐집니다.
Now when Jesus comes and returns back onto this earth, the first heaven, the first earth will be gone, the new heaven will appear to us.
그날에 하나님께로부터 새 예루살렘이 우리에게 찾아오는데 그 새 예루살렘이 오는 그때에 우리는 영적 신랑 되신 예수와 영적 신부인 교회가 그곳에서 혼인잔치를 하게 된다는 겁니다.
Now the New Jerusalem will come down to this earth, and at that time, the members of the church who are the spiritual bride, and Jesus who is the bridegroom, that is when we will officially get married on that day when he comes back.
영적 신랑 되신 우리 주 예수께 영적 신부인 교회는 신앙의 정절과 순종 그것으로 단장해 있어야 한다는 겁니다.
Now when Jesus returns back, and when when the bride, which represents the church, and then when the bridegroom, the Jesus, who is the spiritual Jesus, when we get married to him, that is when we must be dressed beautifully, and we must be dressed with modest and proper attire, and also with obedience.
공의로우신 하나님께서 범죄한 유다를 심판하기로 작정하시고 너희를 심판하기로 작정한 내 뜻을 굽히지 않을 것이고 내 뜻을 절대로 거두지 아니하고 후회하지 않겠다라고 말씀하셨습니다.
And the ones who continuously and still will not believe in God and disobey Him and do not believe in Him will be perished and will be punished by God. And just as what He had said, it will happen. And He said that there is no turning back, and He will do what He had said.
네가 아무리 금을 차고 눈을 그리고 꾸미고 머리를 단장하여 아름다운 모습을 뽐낸다 할지라도 너는 결국 멸망당할 자임에 네가 어찌 하겠느냐 이렇게 범죄한 유다에게 물으십니다.
And He asks the sinners, the Jews, even if you wear fancy jewelry, gold jewelry, and makeup, and to have fancy hair, or wear fancy elegant clothes, that does not matter. And that will not do anything because I will not change my mind, and you will be forever punished.
자기를 위하여 외적으로 단장했던 그들은 모두가 다 하나님의 심판과 멸망을 자초하였다는 겁니다.
The people of Judah, the sinners, the believers, non-believers of God, they dressed themselves to make them look beautiful in the outer appearance and did not change in their hearts at all. And those are the people who will be eternally perished and punished by God.
우리의 눈을 자극하고 우리의 눈을 즐겁게 하는 그 외적인 외모의 장식, 그 단장은 하나님을 분노케 한다는 겁니다.
And all the adornments that enhance our looks, our beauty, those things will be used for sin, and those are the things that God will become furious and be fiercely angry with us.
범죄한 유다는 하나님께 회개하고 하나님 앞에 돌이켰으면 됐는데 그들은 동맹군 애굽에게 찾아가서 예물을 바치면서 도와달라고 하소연했지만 그들은 외면받고 배신을 당하여 결국은 바벨론에게 함락되고야 맙니다.
The Israelites just repented after they have sinned to God. Then nothing would have happened. God would have forgiven them. But instead, they went to Egypt and asked for the Egyptians' help. And so they sacrificed all things to them. But later on, the Egyptians they betrayed the Israelites, and finally they were seized and were captured by the Babylonians.
선민 이스라엘에게 가장 아름다운 단장은 주께 순종하는 것이었고 주께 의지하는 것이었습니다.
So, in order for them the Israelites to look beautiful, they would have been dressed with all kinds of the trust in God and the reliance in Him only.
주를 의지하지 않고 사람을 의지하는 것. 그것이 하나님을 분노케 하는 내적 단장이라고 하나님은 결론적으로 말씀하십니다.
And because they trusted in man and did not trust in God, the outer appearance, the adornments that they were dressed up with, their beauty, it failed and made them perish.
자기를 위하여 단장하는 것을 멈추어 주시기를 주의 이름으로 부탁합니다.
Now we want to stop to make ourselves look beautiful with all the adornments that we have.
하나님께서는 네 육체를 뽐내기 위하여 네 육체를 치장하기 위하여 단장하는 것, 그 단장품을 즉시 제하라 말씀하셨습니다.
To make your look to be beautiful and to make it more attractive, get rid of all your adornments that you have.
하나님의 거룩한 성소, 성막을 건축하는 재료로 이스라엘 백성들이 소유하고 있었던 금은 보석들, 그 장신구들이 사용을 받았더라 성경의 말씀 우리 가운데 증거하고 있습니다.
When the tabernacle was built, and when the process when the temple was being constructed, the Israelites they sacrificed and they used up all their jewels and all the things that they had, the precious jewelry, in order to build the temple.
자기를 위하여 단장하려고 소장하고 있는 것들, 그것들은 빨리빨리 주께 온전히 드려지고 바쳐질 때 하나님 앞에 짓고 있는 자기의 범죄가 사함을 받을 수 있다는 교훈을 우리에게 주고 있습니다.
The lesson that it teaches us is that the adornments that we owe to make ourselves look beautiful, we want to sacrifice it to God, and so we can use it in a good way.
우리에게 슬픔과 비극, 실패를 안겨주는 외적인 단장함을 버리시고 우리 영혼의 유익이 되고 하나님과 영원히 행복한 관계를 지속할 수 있게 만드는 내적 단장, 신앙으로 단장하시고 순종으로 단장하시고 믿음으로 단장하시는 주 예수 광야교회 성도들이 되기를 주의 이름으로 축원합니다.
We have learned today that true beauty does not come from the outer appearance, trying to make yourself attractive by using and dressing ourselves with adornments, all kinds of jewelry and all those things, those fancy things. And we know that true change, true beauty, it comes from within your heart and through your heart and your faith. Therefore, we want to be able to adorn ourselves with the God-given faith that He has given to us, and with obedience. And that is how we can actually be truly beautiful.
기도하시겠습니다.